You tweeted during your fight, LOL. Just your thoughts on that, and do you have a message for him?
Honestly, he got a fight next week, right? So it seemed like he focused on me, and Lamont Roach is focused on him. I think I'm gonna go put my bet in on Lamont Roach.
Hey, with Tank, you don't trade with him. You got to box, move, time up.
Hard stick right here, shit. Hard stick.
Shakur Stevenson responded to the video of Lamont Roach and Gervonta Tank Davis sparring. Tank Davis and Lamont Roach's sparring video has generated debate, with many fans thinking it validates their preconceptions. Tank and Roach have sparred twice, with Roach officially losing both times. People anticipate a similar result from their next battle, since Tank's power, precision, and combat IQ have often outperformed Roach, and many believe this is just another chance for Davis to demonstrate his supremacy. Theotage only served to strengthen the notion that Roachwood would fight again, making it hard to envision anything other than another crushing defeat. Victory recently leaked sparring footage of Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Roach has sent shockwaves through the boxing world. Fans are dissecting every moment, trying to predict how their upcoming fight might unfold. The footage showcases Tank's trademark power, precision, and ability to set traps, qualities that have made him one of the sport's most dangerous fighters. Roach, known for his technical skill and movement, has faced Davis multiple times in both sparring and official bouts. However, history has not been kind to him, as Tank has consistently come out on top. This latest footage only reinforces what many already believe. Roach will struggle once again against Davis's relentless style. Fan reactions have been mixed. Some argue that sparring doesn't always translate to real fight outcomes, while others see it as clear evidence that Tank has Roach figured out. Regardless, the leaked footage has only intensified the anticipation leading up to fight night. As the buzz around this rivalry continues to grow, all eyes will be on whether Roach can change the narrative or if Tank will dominate once again. One thing is certain, this fight is shaping up to be must-watch action.
Shakur Stevenson made a statement. He said Gervonta Davis is too interested or distracted by him. He needs to be focused on Lamont Roach. And because of that, he is going to put his money, Jay, on Lamont Roach. Now, from my...
That's silly.
Well, okay. So let's talk about it. From my perspective, okay, Shakur is somewhat tying into something that I thought about, and I mentioned on our live stream, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, that I personally believe that Lamont Roach is going to be more of a challenge than what people think he's going to be, right? Do I think he's going to beat Tank? No, I don't think he's going to beat Tank. But I do believe he's going to be more of a challenge. And Shakur is putting his money on Gervonta Davis, would suggest that possibly there could be an upset. I've heard some other people thinking that. Tank has been a little bit frustrated about some of the conditions that he's had in terms of training camp and some other things. So is it possible that he's distracted? I don't know. But I do believe that this fight is going to be closer than what many people think. Jay, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I said on the live stream yesterday on 4 p.m. that this fight's going to be closer than what a lot of people think. You know, early on, I think it will be. I see it's silly for Shakur to say that, because that's your money. That's your biggest payday of your career. That's your peer that's going to give you the biggest, bang for your buck if you were to face Tank Davis and beat him. Why would you put money on another guy fighting him and want that guy to almost say like that guy should win, or you think he's going to beat Tank? That makes no sense to me. You want Tank like, Tank, handle your business. We'll meet up later this summer. That's what that's what I would be thinking, because I want to fight the best. So why would I want someone else to knock him off before I can take him out? So that's why I said silly. I think Lamont Roach is going to be tougher than most because people are discrediting Lamont Roach like he's some bum or something like that. He is a champion. He's fought at 135 and 140 before. He's fought Tank in the amateurs and lost to Tank twice.
The highly anticipated fight between Gervonta "Tank" Davis and Lamont Roach approaches. Discussions are heating up among boxing insiders. One of the more intriguing takes comes from Shakur Stevenson, who believes Tank may be too distracted by outside factors, especially by Stevenson himself, which could impact his performance. In fact, Stevenson went as far as to say he would bet on Roach, a bold statement considering Davis's track record. While most analysts still favor Tank, there is growing speculation that Roach could pose a tougher challenge than many expect. Some experts argue that Roach's technical skills, durability, and past experience fighting Davis, both in amateur bouts and sparring, could make this fight more competitive than widely assumed. Although Roach has lost to Tank in previous encounters, fighters often adjust and improve, and personal motivation can be a powerful factor, especially for someone eager to avenge past defeats. However, some question Stevenson's comments. Tank is one of the biggest names in boxing, and a potential fight between him and Stevenson would generate massive attention and financial reward. Critics argue that Stevenson should actually want Davis to win, setting up a blockbuster showdown. Between the two, regardless of the outside noise, the consensus remains that Roach should not be underestimated. While Davis is still the favorite, Roach's skill set and experience could make this fight far more competitive than initially expected. With fight night drawing closer, the anticipation continues to build, and fans are eager to see if Roach can flip the script or if Tank will once again prove his dominance.
Last question, Ms. Bowser. It's rumored that Lamont Roach is the backup plan to Gervonta Davis if he doesn't fight Rayo Valenzuela.
Right.
What you think of that fight?
What, Lamont?
Lamont and Tank.
I think that's be a good fight, man. I think it'd be a good fight, man. Him and Tank. I think that'd be a real good fight, man. You know what I mean? I think, I would have to go with Tank, though. I would have to go with Tank. You know what I mean? But I think it's a real good fight, you know what I mean?
Lamont will be moving up. What would he have to do to make that fight competitive?
Oh, he moving up?
Yeah, it would be, he's the champion at 30.
Oh, okay, yeah. I have to go with Tank with that. You're moving up, yeah.
What does he need to do to make this competitive?
Hey, with Tank, you don't trade with him. You got to box. Box, move, time up. You know what I mean? Walk him around, frustrate him. You know what I mean? Let him drop his guards. You know what I mean? He can drop his guards, and then you take it. But it's difficult when you fighting Tank, man. It's difficult when you fighting him because Tank sets you up with all types of shots, man. You can be beating Tank, man. Hitting him with all kinds. If you can't punch, you're in trouble.
Facts.
You know what I mean? But with Tank, you might as well say, man, it's going to be a knock.
Tank Davis and Lamont Roach Jr. are scheduled to face each other on March 1st. Boxing trainer Bruce Yis has expressed his preference for Tank in this fight and believes that Roach, despite his skill, will have a difficult time moving up in weight against a fighter as dangerous as Davis. Tank, who, as said, respects Roach's skills but stresses that it's not an easy feat to move up in weight to take on a puncher like Davis, is my choice if I had to choose. This emphasized the value of a well-thought-out plan, figuring that trading blows with Tank would be a mistake. In order to generate holes, it was advised that Roach should instead concentrate on bow boxing, song movement, ying Davis up, and irritating him.
Hitting him with all kinds. If you can't punch, you're in trouble.
Facts.
You know what I mean? But with Tank, you might as well say, man, it's going to be a knockout. You know what I mean? Because Tank will set you up. Like I said, he know how to set you up. And also, like I tell people, Tank can box when he want to box. You know what I mean?
I thought he was just a puncher. You were the first person that told me
that he could box.
Yeah. And then I started to see it fight after fight.
Yeah, he can fight real good, man. I mean, he can box real good. He boxes real good, man. You know what I mean? He know how to do it all. Tank know how to do it all, man. You know what I mean?
Was he a pure boxer in amateurs?
He used to do the same thing. What are you doing in the pros? He's doing in amateurs. He's knocking people out. He's doing in amateurs. You know what I mean? And he boxed. And that's why I knew he can box from the amateurs.
Challenge for Lamont Roach remains immense. Facing Gervonta "Tank" Davis is no easy task. As analyst Andis explained, Tank sets opponents up with a variety of shots, making him difficult to handle. Even if an opponent manages to land punches, Davis's power remains a game changer. If you can't punch, you're in trouble, Andis warned, emphasizing that Tank can absorb shots and still deliver fight-ending blows. While many label Davis as just a power puncher, Andis was among the first to highlight his boxing IQ. Tank can box when he wants to, he noted, pointing to Davis's increasing versatility in recent fights. Ultimately, Andis expects a knockout, reinforcing the notion that Roach will need a flawless performance to avoid Tank's devastating power. With March 1st approaching, all eyes will be on whether Roach can execute the perfect game plan, or if Davis will add another highlight reel finish to his resume.
Always trying to write the story before it even gets written. But I think Lamont Roach, I think a lot of people should see his side, his story, his journey, his dare to be great and give. And if you're frustrated with Gervonta Davis, you can't be frustrated with Lamont Roach.
Right. Well, and people have a short memory because everybody knows everything was done possible to make the Lomachenko fight.
True.
And Tank wasn't the one who walked away. Lomachenko said it wasn't the right time.
Yeah.
He had his own reasons. That's fine. There were discussions. Didn't go very far. There were discussions with Shakur. There were efforts there, and there'll be discussions more in the future. But it wasn't as if pulled Lamont Roach out of the blue. No disrespect to him, because those are two great names. But they did go for the two best guys in the division on paper before we end.
In an effort to strengthen his position in the lightweight category, Davis has been aggressively pursuing high-profile bouts. At first, Davis wanted to get a unification fight against IBF lightweight champion Vasyl Lomachenko, but Lomachenko pulled out of talks and is apparently considering retirement. Therefore, this fight fell through. The WBC lightweight champion was then the focus of Davis's squad. Discussions with Shakur Stevenson were started in order to set up a fight, but they did not result in a definitive agreement. As part of his pre-existing itinerary, Stevenson, who was under a 2-fight deal with promoter Eddie Hearn, recently faced Josh Papadley, whom he defeated by 9th-round technical knockout. A Davis-Stevenson matchup has been delayed in large part because of this on-the-ground commitment.
We're always trying to write the story before it even gets written. But I think Lamont Roach, I think a lot of people should see his side, his story, his journey, his dare to be great and give. And if you're frustrated with Gervonta Davis, you can't be frustrated with Lamont Roach.
Right. Well, and people have a short memory because everybody knows everything was done possible to make the Lomachenko fight.
True.
And Tank wasn't the one who walked away. Lomachenko said it wasn't the right time.
Yeah.
He had his own reasons. That's fine. There were discussions. Didn't go very far. There were discussions with Shakur. There were efforts there, and there'll be discussions more in the future. But it wasn't as if pulled Lamont Roach out of the blue. No disrespect to him, because those are two great names. But they did go for the two best guys in the division on paper before we ended up here.
Last question for you. I can't let you go without asking about Gervonta Davis. Any message to him to make him come to Saudi Arabia? Because everyone's making deals with Turkey Al Sheikh. He's the only one left.
Nah, that ain't really my business. The message that I will give to him is let's make the biggest fight in boxing happen. Let's make as much money as possible. So if Turkey gonna give us
Eddie, I love that.
Yeah, if Turkey and whoever else want to give us the craziest bag, let's make that happen. I want to make the biggest bag, so why not? He want to make the biggest bag too, so I'm down with that.
That's what we're all in the game for.